have that movie nitpicker 8070 who asks, favorite Batman or Superman comic? Well, I'm actually going to answer this in 3 different ways. I have a favorite Batman comic, a favorite Superman comic, and a favorite comic with them teaming up together. And the first one is right here, which is Batman Annual #1 from Tom King's run. I believe this is from like 2016, 2017. And not the entire comic is my favorite, but it does have my favorite story from this list of short stories in here, which is when Batman is first introduced to Ace, his dog. Alfred adopts Ace for Bruce during Christmas time, and it's a very heartwarming story. It also has one of my favorite panels of any Batman comic book I've ever read. It's just a very heartwarming story about how Batman is completely aloof and Alfred is always taking care of Bruce. I love it because I'm also a dog owner. So imagine that the way that eventually Bruce feels about Ace and Ace feels about Batman is exactly how I feel about my dog Bruno, and how Bruno, I would imagine, feels about me. Now, do we go on secret missions together, punching robbers and other criminals in the face? That's our business. My second one is actually from Batman and Robin, Peter J. Tomasi's run, and this is right after Damian dies, and it's one comic where there's absolutely no dialogue, but you're following Bruce as he's grieving, and you just get everything that you need from the artwork that's presented to us, showing Bruce going through this trial and eventually just breaking down and crying. It's pretty heartbreaking, but it's put together so well that I absolutely love it. And moving on to Superman, I actually really enjoy the Superman Rebirth run, where John is introduced and we're getting to know Superman's son, and we're seeing Superman as a father. The entire run is beautiful from that standpoint, and it really shines when we're talking about John and him learning his powers, and Superman learning to be a dad with a kid with powers, and Lois being kind of the glue that holds everything together. This first arc, though, is really important to that story because it establishes that father-son dynamic, and it also shows John having real issues with his powers and having a little bit of self-doubt about whether or not he's dangerous or not. So this is definitely my favorite Superman run and my favorite Superman comic. And finally, we also have our Batman-Superman team-up that I was talking about. This is from Batman #36. And this story is from an arc called Super Friends. It's the first part of that, where Batman is talking to Catwoman about his relationship with Superman from his perspective, and Superman is talking to Lois about his relationship with Batman from his perspective. And it's actually parallel throughout the entire issue of the comic, which leads to Batman #37, which is a double date with the two of them on Halloween, where they basically switch costumes and just go to a county fair, and it's kind of fun. It's nothing like that's too drastic with a big mission or anything like that, but it's just exploring those characters and their relationships. And I often really like issues where these moments are highlighted, where it's just character moments. I do love the punching, the kicking, the crime fighting, but I also love just getting to know the characters and their perspectives on one another. So yeah, those are my 3 favorite comic books from Batman, Superman, and a team up with them together.